Ramsey, Aubameyang, oh brilliant! He took it first time and with devastating effect. Put through by Steve Bold, would you believe it?
I don't want to waste what's left. The storms we
Life in the game, according to the referee, and Bergkamp certainly life in him.
No, I don't want to waste what's left. And on we'll go.
Henri, what a goal!
Dance through the highways till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go.
He's in again, pushed out by Bartes, Wiltor!
What is up, guys? Welcome back to another show. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. And firstly, I just want to thank everybody who tuned into yesterday's North London Derby review. Listen, that was a fantastic stream, a fantastic victory on Sunday against Tottenham. But we move on. We have got the second leg of our Europa League tie against Olympiacos. And joining me to look back on last week's game and look ahead to this week's game is Stephen Cantoro. How you doing, Stephen? Thanks for coming back on.
Oh, thank you so much for having me back on, man. Yeah, I'm sure we can certainly touch on the first leg for the most part, and look forward to hopefully a interesting second leg.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to remind everybody to smash the like button as usual, and keep hitting that share button as well. It's so crucial. Let's look back at the last game, the first leg over there in Athens. What did you make of it?
Well, it obviously, undeniably, it's a disappointment to lose that game. It wasn't unexpected. And at the same time, maybe there were things that went on in the game that were preventable. Some things weren't, in the sense of the amount of injuries that we sustained beforehand. We lost, obviously, Sonu Bar half an hour before the game. The lineup came up. He was fully fit from what we had been told. And turns out that wasn't the case. We had to end up playing Jan Villa at centre-back, which meant that our midfield and our defence were kind of separated, and there was no connection between the two, and so that left big gaps in the middle of our team. And that's not taking away from Arsenal's performance. You know, Arsenal gave some cracking goals. Jose Sarr, unfortunately, maybe should have saved one or two of those, but some of those maybe there's the other side of it, which some of those goals were unsavable in a way. And I think there were periods where we fought quite well against you guys. You know, we got the equaliser through El Arabi after Ceballos, and Bird Leno had a bit of miscommunication in your end of the pitch. And I think a lot of Olympiacos fans see this as more or less the end of our European run, which is a shame. We matched what we did last season by getting to the round of 16. Would have loved to have got to the quarterfinals. We saw Arsenal as an opportunity in a sense because of how we knocked you guys out last season, but it was never going to be easy considering some of the individual players that you have at Arsenal who can make that difference, and lo and behold, some of them did. Some unexpected ones like El Neni. So yeah, disappointing, but we're going to come at you in the second leg and hopefully fight and play as well as we possibly can.
Yeah, and I looked on it as well last week as well, and I thought, although we came out 3-1 winners, I kind of felt like it didn't really tell the whole story, because it was, we kind of made hard work of it as well, and you guys could have easily, if you guys have been a bit more aggressive with your play, I think you could have caused us a lot more problems. Having said that, we kind of caused our own problems, really, didn't we, as well? So it was absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, we missed a huge chance, I believe, after you guys went 1-0 up. When Mazuras was in the box, all he had to do was square it to El Arabi, who was unmarked, and he tried to take the shot himself and skied it. First big chance that we missed. After we equalised, we could have gone 2-1 up through El Arabi again. Good block by Bellerin, but ultimately maybe El Arabi should have done slightly better there. And then the goal that put you guys 2-1 up. I mean, it's not even about the VAR decision, because I think I've discussed this with other Arsenal fans. While it possibly should have been called back to double check with VAR, ultimately I feel like it was the right decision. My biggest problem with the conceding from a corner is the fact that we've done that a lot recently. I might have said to you last week, we've conceded a lot of goals from set pieces as of late, and I had a feeling that Willian would be the danger man because he seems to be your best set piece taker. And yeah, well, lo and behold, we conceded from a corner, something that I've seen too many times in the last few months, and you know, we haven't quite stamped that out of our game yet, which is a shame.
Yeah, and then you know, when you look as well, the goals that we scored, you know, the when you look at the goals that we scored, it was, you know, especially I don't think you could have done anything about the header from Gabriel. I thought that was outstanding. Do you know what I mean? I don't think you could have done a lot about that.
No, probably not. I mean, it just came. No, it just came at a time when we thought that we could potentially come back into the game, and I think a big turning point also was when El Arabi came off, because I know it was late on in the game, but I thought, why are you taking him off? Like, Arsenal defense is scared of this guy, you know. Like they looked constantly on edge every time he ran at them, and then we took him off for Hassan, and Hassan's an okay player. Like I like what Hassan can bring to the squad, despite him being a fairly limited striker. But the way I would have done it is I would have had Hassan playing next to El Arabi as a shadow striker, and then maybe getting a rebound or maybe getting a header from across, but not playing as the sole striker. I just thought it was strange that he took off El Arabi when, yes, we had a league game to play, but that's the final league game of the regular season, and we're 16 points clear. So it's not essential that we win that game, or essential that we play our strongest team against on the weekend. So why we didn't keep on El Arabi for the whole 90 minutes, I'm not quite sure, because maybe that could have made the difference.
Yeah. Do you think you guys have got any chance in the return game? Do you guys think you've got any chance? Because I look at this as well, and I've said I think I must be the only Arsenal fan, because there's a lot of Arsenal fans thinking the tie is done and dusted, and I'm just sort of sat there thinking, do you know what? We've been drawn into this trap so many times before, and it only takes for you guys to have a mad 10 minutes, score a couple of goals, and the tie is wide open again. And the way we're playing at the moment, and the way that we are gifting chances in games to the opposition, it could very well happen.
Oh, I would love a comeback like that. I really would. It'd be an absolute dream come true. But I'm very much a pessimist when it comes to these things, and I don't think that's possible. I've said before to other people, if we do somehow score 3 goals, I don't feel like we'll keep the clean sheet. So, you know, even if we win by a 3-goal margin, we'll have conceded 1 or 2. Do you know what I mean? So which will mean you guys still go through ultimately. So I don't think we'll go through over you guys. I think you guys more or less have this tie in the bag, but I wouldn't say it's not 100% done. It's never 100% done until the second leg's over. So I would say the one thing that it's not even entirely on us to go out and perform necessarily. It's also up for Arsenal to, as a team and as Arteta as a manager, to take this game more seriously than maybe other people have kind of stated this week. So yeah, I think the important thing is just to not underestimate us, because we can punish teams who do underestimate us. The only problem is we can punish ourselves when we make an individual error that leads to a crucial goal being conceded.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. I look on it. I just look at this game, and I think it could go either one of two ways. This second leg, we could either cruise through it, and it'll be okay, a formality, the game. But then I also think because we just have this mad 5 or 10 minutes where I don't know what it is, whether we switch off or whether we lose concentration. But we just have this mad 5 or 10 minutes where we let the opposition just do their thing. We'll have errors into our game, and it's just mad. So I don't know. Like, I kind of look on this game and think, do you know what? It really depends on how we start. If we start, if we come out the blocks and really attack you and put the game to bed, get a couple of early goals, then yeah, it's done and dusted. But if we come out of it, come into this game and we start the game with complacency, which is kind of what happened last year to an extent. We come out and we got a bit too complacent. We thought, okay, we're the home team. We could easily wrap this up. I know we didn't have the lead that we've got this season, but if we come out of it with come and start playing where we get too complacent, then I think you guys could really take advantage of that. I kind of feel like, and I know this sounds really bad, but I kind of feel like it depends. I kind of feel like we've got your destiny in your hands as well as our own, because if we come out and we really go for it, then we're just going to put you to the sword. But if we come out and really just sort of go, okay, well, 3-1 up, let's just not really bother, and if we play with that kind of attitude, we're kind of going to gift you a way back into the tie.
Well, there's every chance of that happening. I think it's just, I think for Arsenal to succeed, it's about making sure that they are switched on in every area of the pitch, which unfortunately for you guys is something that hasn't necessarily happened this season, and you've let games kind of slip away from you almost with that happening. But yeah, I admire that you're more positive about me about this situation right now. And unfortunately, we still have a lot of injuries that keep mounting up. I think I read only recently today that Bar should be fit. Apparently, he is going to travel to London to play, so he will be in the centre back pairing with Socrates, and hopefully then that will give us a bit more coherency in the team itself in terms of the starting lineup. But unfortunately, Mateo Valbuena, from what I've gathered, it might not be travelling, which is a big loss for us. He's a fantastic player by his age. Hassan as well, backup striker, as I said before. He pulled up with an injury in our last game of the regular season on the weekend, so he doesn't look like he's available. So our only striker will be Yusuf El Arabi, who will definitely play the 90 minutes now. So I got my wish, but not in the way I wanted. I could see us starting Kostas Fortounis most likely. Whether we play him in his preferred number 10 role or on the wing remains to be seen. I feel like we'll play 4-3-3 again. But things could change by Thursday. 1 minute that they're injured, the next minute, they came after all and they're ready. So who knows?
Yeah, and where do you? So if you were to obviously try and get back into the tie, where do you reckon you will target us in terms of where would you see our weaknesses?
I think it depends who you guys play, because if you're going to go full strength squad, despite you guys, I think you guys play West Ham on the weekend, which is a pretty massive game for you guys, obviously. Depending on what you guys, depending on who you guys field, I think we just have to try and target the defenders, because it just seems like the weak link is when you put too much pressure on players like David Luiz and Dani Ceballos. It seems like they're very susceptible to lose the ball in very dangerous areas, as we saw with El Arabi last week, how he nicked the ball off of him. And it's just, I think it's just putting enough pressure when you guys are passing out from the back, and trying nicking the ball in those sort of areas is where we're going to get those key moments. It's just whether we actually convert those chances that we get for ourselves, and the more chances we miss, the less likely it is we're going to be able to score 3 goals within 90 minutes against you guys.
Yeah, that's and I guess I'm looking at it. It depends what kind of lineup we put out as to how the game's going to go. If we put out a strong lineup, if we drop some of our weaker players in terms of like Granit Xhaka or Bellerin, then I think we could have a chance. But if those guys are playing, you guys have always got a chance. And this is why, like, a lot of people are saying, oh, the tie is done and dusted. And I'm just sort of sat there thinking, listen, it ain't done and dusted until the final whistle goes on that, on Thursday night. Because, listen, anything can happen. And it only takes 5 or 10 minutes for the whole tie to change. You've only got to score 2 goals, and which could happen. You guys, if you score 2 goals, then the tie is effectively, back level playing field, because you'll have sort of like, I know you've got to get.
Well, you still go through an away goals, but if it would definitely put pressure on you, because 1 more goal and that's it. You'd have to score.
Yeah, we'd have to score to take it to extra time.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. And under pressure, we struggle. We really do struggle under pressure. So it's one of those ties. We're comfortable right now, but it could change. Things could drastically change.
No, I agree with you. It depends
and
if
that's
who
the
scores
thing
first as well.
Yeah, I think that could be a crucial part of Thursday. If you guys get the early goal, then it could put us under massive amounts of pressure. If we get the early goal, I think it could be like it might kill your momentum, and it all depends on how you guys approach it and how we approach it. I think if we approach it like all guns blazing, then I think you guys are going to be, you could be in for an uncomfortable evening. But if you guys come out and really attack us, then and like you say, if you can nick an early goal, then the tie is going to be very, very it could be very, very different.
I agree. And I think from our perspective, I have a feeling that we will try and put our strongest lineup and just go for it, because we essentially have nothing to lose now, because that, in the sense of the tie almost being done, we don't have a game on the weekend. We don't play in the Super League again until after the international break now, as far as I'm aware. So this is essentially the last chance we have of staying in Europe. So the team has to fight for everything, in order to stay not only relevant in this tie, but also try and get to the quarterfinals, which is, like I've said before, I want to emphasize, is not likely to happen for us. It's like, to turn a tie like this is not something Olympiacos are very famous for doing. We're more on the receiving end of being on the better side of a tie and either almost giving it away or completely giving it away. So for us to do this, it would be monumental.
Yeah. Big up everybody in the chat as well. Do keep hitting the like button, and do remember to hit that notification bell as well, so you'll never miss a video. That's it's very interesting, and if you guys obviously don't go through, do you reckon will that be curtains for your manager, or what's the state of play there? How comfortable is the setup there at Olympiacos?
He'll be fine. As I've said, he's kind of shown his worth by taking us to the same stage as we were last season, and the fact that we've I wouldn't say we have won the title yet. It's not mathematically set, but we are 16 points clear, which is a very, very comfortable gap. You know, we're still competing for the Greek Cup, so we could win the double. Pedro Martins hasn't got anything to worry about. You know, a minority of Olympiacos players came out after the first leg and said, "Oh, Martins needs to be sacked because he's rubbish. Like we don't do anything in Europe." And it's just a real shame because they clearly haven't properly been following Olympiacos as a whole since he took charge and where we were when he first took over, when we were an absolute mess. You know, the team was all over the place. We lost the title quite convincingly. We got dumped out of Europe at the group stage of the Champions League. We didn't even get to the Europa League that season. And he came to us and he started to build us back up again. And then last season we won the title and the double again. And we did fairly decently in Europe. So for him to have come and made all those changes and then for it to all be uprooted just like that, I think it would be quite premature for him to leave. I don't think he will get the sack for this because he has shown that he is taking us to a decent level, and hopefully next season is the season we kick on and maybe go further. And I think and hope that Pedro Martins leaves when he chooses to, rather than him being sacked, because our owner's very, very cutthroat with managers, and the fact that he's kept him this long and us performing is testament to Martins as a manager.
Yeah. I guess that's I guess that's one of the things as well. You know, especially in modern football, managers, you know, that they're at a precarious position unless you're really, really successful. That there's always a precarious position unless there's something drastically wrong. You know. But I guess you guys obviously, you know, like you say, domestically you're doing okay. Whereas I suppose, you know, in respects to like Arsenal, we've just our season hinges on this Europa League. Like literally, it's. I guess if we end up not to mention the fact that we've got this healthy lead, but if we end up somehow ballsing this tie up and losing it, then it's gonna be. I'd like to think that it's gonna be curtains for Arteta, but you just never know. You know, you really do. Know.
You know, if that did happen, I'd have a feeling that it wouldn't necessarily. The blame wouldn't necessarily be put on him. It'd be more the players, because even Arteta's come out and said he doesn't want to treat the tie. He wants to treat the tie seriously. You know, he said it's not over yet. Even he said that, and after the first leg, so he clearly is taking this seriously. It's just it is sadly in a way curtains for your league, for your season. Sorry, if we somehow do it, because obviously you're out. I think you're out of both domestic cups. You're where in the league, like 10th, still 10th or something in the league. So
yeah,
competing for Europe is hard. Yeah, and so yeah, the most realistic you can get into the Champions League next season is to win the Europa League. So you want to try to go far in that. Whereas with us, it's not. It doesn't really. You know, we don't have the expectation to win the Europa League. Unfortunately, like our expectation is to be competitive in Europe. Maybe try go further than we can or have done previously in the Europa League and Champions League. Even though that's even becoming more unrealistic by the season. Ultimately, if we ever got to a European final, it'd be phenomenal. Like it would probably never happen again, just because of where Greek football is, and if and where Olympiacos is as a club, it would certainly be like a one magical season kind of thing.
Yeah. So big up everybody in the chat. Remember, do hit the like button. Do smash the like button. What do you think the score will be then? Let's get a score prediction.
I'm gonna go with the same scoreline I gave last week, but I'm gonna give the 2-1 win to Arsenal. I think I'm not. I'm super pessimistic because hopefully my pessimism will equal us somehow turning this tie around. But in all seriousness, I do believe that we'll put up a good fight against you guys. But I think you'll overwhelm us and yeah, we'll lose. Well, I think we'll lose 2-1.
Wow. It's see, again, I'm sort of. I probably like to think we could probably win 2-0, but there's just a part of me that Arsenal keeping clean sheets is just it doesn't happen at the moment. You know, we always give away a stupid goal. So, 2-1 is probably a fair assumption. But then it could, knockout football, like you say, you guys have got nothing to lose. You've got everything to kind of gain, whereas sort of, I guess the ascendancy is going to be on you guys as well, because you're going to have to come at us a bit more.
Exactly.
You can't afford to sit. That could open it up for guys like like Aubameyang and Pepe and Smith Rowe. It could open it up for us to exploit that. So it depends. It depends on I guess the scoreline depends on how both teams start the game, and I think the start is going to be crucial. I really do. If you guys start and give us a little bit of a scare, and you could expose our weaknesses, then the tie could, it's not going to be as easy as what people think it's going to be. But I guess, listen, I guess Thursday we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, we will.
Joanne's here going for a 1-1 draw. And 1-1 would be enough to put us through. So yeah, I'll take 1-1.
And even if we win but don't go through, it's still great because Greece is always looking to get coefficient points to try and raise the league up in the rankings a little bit. So a win and not getting through is not exactly a bad thing for Greek football as a whole. It would just mean we wouldn't go through into the next stage.
Yeah. And I guess I guess we just have to wait and see, don't we? We have to wait and see on how the teams the teams come out. And it's going to be very, very interesting. It's going to be a very, very interesting tie. Listen, Olympiacos, like last season, you guys caused us some problems, and it's going to be, like I say, I don't think the tie is done and dusted. I think there's going to be a few hairy moments in the game, where we're going to be like, we are going to sail close to the wind.
If we can go out there and show that we can fight and try our best, and like at least put in a more consistent performance with a more full kind of well-rounded team, unlike last week, then that will still be a positive in our eyes to at least be able to compete with a team like Arsenal, who, yes, you guys aren't having the best of seasons, but you still have a lot of fantastic players, and that at times was the difference in the last game. If we can show that we can at least remain competitive with you guys, it would be great. And a win but still not going through for us would mean it'll be 6 wins, 6 losses, which I would also take as a consolation as well.
Yeah, definitely. Well, listen, I think we're coming to the end of the preview. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Do remember to keep hitting that like button and subscribing. We're sort of on the road to 2,000, so we're almost approaching that now. Stephen, do you want to let people know where they can find you and your content?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me on again, man. Like, it's been really nice chatting about the second leg, and with regards to my social media, you can find me on Twitter with the Twitter handle at Steve Konturu. Same on Instagram. And I, as I said last week, I write for Hellas Football, who are also on Twitter with the Twitter handle at Hellas Footy. We specialize in distributing Greek football content in English, whether it be the Greek Super League, the Greek Super League 2, the national team, Greek footballers abroad, Greek teams in Europe, etc., etc. And yeah, so if you want to give us a follow on Hellas Football as well, that'd be amazing. We have a podcast every single week as well on Spotify, Anchor, and Apple Music. So yeah, if you ever want to come look at any blogs from me that I do on a weekly basis, mainly about Olympiacos, sometimes about the national team, you can find me on there as well.
Yeah, definitely, and everybody do go and check out that. Well, there we go, guys. That is the end of the preview. Listen, I will be back on Thursday with the pre-match build-up. So I think we've got the early kickoff.
Yeah, we do. So it's like 5
to 5. So I will be doing the pre-match build-up maybe at around 4 p.m. Yeah, 4 p.m. to 5. I'll be doing the pre-match build-up, hopefully in line with the teams coming out as well. So yeah, I'll be doing the pre-match build-up on Thursday. Then obviously after the game, I'll be doing the post-match game show. And don't forget, guys, you can catch me on Claude's channel tomorrow from 11:30. So do head over there for our regular Wednesday show. And yeah, listen, the games keep coming thick and fast. It's not getting any easier. We're getting down to the business end of the season. So yeah, listen, all enjoy the rest of your day. I'll be back here on Thursday. Until then, take care, guys, and come on, you Gunners.